Hi, I'm clinical hypnotherapist Stephanie Conkle, and today I'm going to be talking about goals. And most of us have heard about SMART goals, and because most businesses actually use the SMART goal model. If you've never heard of it before, I'm going to just briefly explain to you what they are. SMART is an acronym. So if you can remember SMART, then you can remember that the goal needs to be specific. This is actually very important, that it needs to be specific, and you actually need to write down your goals. That's very, very important to write them down. The more specific you can make your goals, the easier it is for your subconscious to process exactly what you need, because if you keep it too nebulous, then you kind of go off the rails. So make sure that the goal is specific. All right. But I'm going to add to the SMART goals. And you say, Stephanie, how can you improve upon the SMART goal? Well, these things are great, okay, but in order to make a goal really work, there's got to be emotion behind it, and the subconscious is all about emotion, okay? So instead of just being specific, which is great, yes, definitely be specific. The goal also needs to be significant. Oops, can you see that, guys? There you go. All right, the goal needs to be significant. Okay, it's gotta have enough significance behind it. See, that feeling behind it, that this is significant enough for me to put my time and my effort and my energy into it. So it needs to be specific, but it also needs to feel significant for the subconscious to really latch onto it, right, and really work on it. The goal should be measurable. It's very helpful to be measurable, and measuring goals is very important too, because if you can keep going back and measuring where you're at in the process, then it just sort of helps keep you on track, keeps helping you to move forward with the completion of your goal. So it's great that it's measurable, but in order for you not to procrastinate on it, it needs to be, if you can read my handwriting here, motivational. It needs to be motivational. All right, so how motivated are you to get in and roll up your sleeves and do the work? That looks like an R, but that's actually a V. There you go, motivational. So not only does it need to be specific and measurable, it needs to be significant and motivational, right? You need to be motivated. You need to want to wake up in the morning and be like, yes, I'm working on my goal today, right? Not like, oh, got to work towards this goal, right? So we need it to be motivational. All right, the goal also needs to be attainable. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, right? That, of course, it needs to be attainable, and if it's not attainable, then that's really hard for your subconscious to work its mind around too, because how do you get something that's not truly attainable? Now, I think a lot of goals are actually attainable anyway, so but make sure that it feels attainable, but also it needs to be aligned. Your goal needs to be aligned with your purpose, right? It needs to be aligned with you. Okay? Is this a goal that you want to do for yourself, or that you need to do for yourself, right? To better yourself or your situation, or if it's a goal for something at work, it still needs to be aligned with your values and your beliefs. Actually, I'm not going to say the name of this company, but I worked for a company that the product really wasn't aligned with my core values, and so I really had a hard time selling the product. And of course, I'm an expert at selling. I'm a hypnotist, but I just really couldn't do it because it wasn't aligned with my core values, and then I ended up leaving that company soon thereafter. And then I went to another company that I did believe in the product, and I was able to sell sell them like hotcakes. So I don't know where that expression came from. Sell them like hotcakes. They sold like hotcakes. So just make sure that your goal is aligned with who you are and it's aligned to your purpose, because if you're out of alignment, or if the goal is out of alignment of your purpose, who you really are, it's going to be really, really tough to get that accomplished, because deep down your subconscious will try to sabotage it if you're not aligned with it. Okay, it has to be relevant, of course. That kind of goes without saying too. You don't want it to be irrelevant. But also, you want the goal to release you. Release you. So it needs to release you from some burden that you had before. So what is this goal going to release you from? So maybe you need to lose 50 pounds. So maybe it will, once you release the 50 pounds, you will be released from your health problems, right? So the goal may do that. Maybe the goal will release you from financial burden. So maybe you've been in debt or you have a financial burden. Maybe achieving this goal will make you money, so that will release you from financial debt. So if the goal releases you from something, then you feel relieved. Okay, so that is very motivational for the subconscious, because the subconscious wants to feel peace and feel relieved and feel in balance. And then the last one, the goal needs to be time bound. Now this one, out of all of these original SMART goals, the time bound one is the one with all of the emotion behind it, and it's probably the one, I've just erased that, it's probably the one that actually gets the job done. Time bound. So if there's a deadline, you have to get this project done by a certain deadline, or you might lose that big account, or you might get fired or yelled at by your boss. You're going to be motivated to get that in. So we respond to either punishment or reward. Also, people like to compete, and they like to compete against themselves. So maybe, maybe you have a goal to run a certain amount of miles in so many minutes, and you want to beat your own personal best. So you would set a time-bound goal, right? So setting deadlines is very helpful to getting your goal completed. And if there's a punishment or a reward behind it, then you're definitely going to get it done, because why? You're motivated by emotion. Okay, so the subconscious is going to work for you in that regard. And I would also just say, is this true? Is this goal true to you? Does it feel right to you? Is it something that you want to do, not something that someone else wants for you? Like, if your wife wants you to lose 50 pounds, but you feel fine the way you are, or your husband, whatever. I'm just pulling out things out of my brain. But let's say somebody else wants something for you, and they give you the goal to do, and if it's not yours, it's not true to you, you're not going to be motivated to do it. So it has to be true to you. So your goals need to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. But more importantly, they need to be significant, motivational, aligned to your purpose. They need to release you, and they need to be true to you. All right. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like. And I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.